Hey guys, Adam from Southland Dog Training. Today I want to talk to you about harnesses and reactive dogs and why a harness for a reactive dog is the worst tool you can use for a reactive dog. Lately I'm seeing case after case after case of dogs that are reactive towards other dogs. The one thing that most of these dogs are sharing in common is they're all being walked on a harness. All the information you're seeing online often is coming from purely positive trainers, or vets or things like that, encouraging people to use harnesses. They're comfortable for the dog, they're going to help the dog relax, but it's actually going against the whole makeup and design of the harness. So I'm going to upload a clip to this video as you're watching it, so you should start to be able to see it now, and it's going to be of a German Shepherd. Now this German Shepherd is one of the worst cases of dog reactivity we've ever seen. Okay, and when we done the assessment of the dog, it was on a harness, and you could tell straight off the bat when it's for a dog that harness was making life 10 times worse for the dog. What you're effectively doing is you are restraining the dog, which creates more frustration. Restraining a dog may seem like management, but it's not management at all. It's basically, it creates more frustration in the dog. Yeah, you're pulling the dog back. If it's up on its back legs and you grab it by the harness, you're pulling that dog back. It's creating the dog to pull more, get more leverage, and it creates more frustration. And we're seeing this time and time again, going into houses with dogs that are reactive towards other dogs. And 9 out of 10 of them are all being walked on harnesses, and it's because of the information being put out there. So let's just dig deeper into the harness, guys. The sole reason the harness was invented was for tracking purposes and for pulling. Yeah, the whole reason the harness was invented was so the dog could pull with maximum comfort and maximum leverage. It doesn't create any discomfort when the dog lunges, doesn't create any discomfort when the dog pulls. This is why the harness was invented. Excuse me guys, I do apologise. I am a little bit under the weather at the minute. Yeah, so the harness, it is literally designed for a dog to pull comfortably. Yeah. The flip side is, with dogs, any sort of pulling back momentum, any sort of restraint with a dog creates more frustration. So if you're using a harness to try and make your dog's life more comfortable, but then if you've got a reactive dog and you're having to use the harness to restrain the dog, whether it's physically by grabbing a handle or grabbing a harness, or whether you're pulling back on a lead, it's going to cause the dog to react more. Now there are some clever fancy gimmicks out there, some noble harnesses, shit like that, but what they actually do is they will cause long-term structural damage to the dog. A noble harness, for instance, works because it creates pressure, which creates discomfort, which discourages the dog from pulling. I don't like noble harnesses. It's one of the few tools on the market that I just wouldn't use. Okay, and that's absolutely necessary because it runs the risk of having long-term structural damage to the dog. Yeah, because it puts them out of balance. Yeah, dogs need to walk in a certain way. If they walk off balance, offset for a long period of time, then they can start to develop joint problems and growth problems if it's a younger dog. So noble harnesses are just definitely not really a smart way to go. So you look at the harnesses that trainers are recommended. They're soft, padded, comfortable harnesses, but these then fall into the category of having to use restraint, which seems to be a popular go-to method for a lot of dog trainers. I've got this motto now that when it comes to force-free dog trainers, okay, it's first of all, avoid the situation that makes the dog uncomfortable. So you avoid dogs at all costs, avoid people at all costs. If your dog's got triggers that make them react to those things or scared of those things, they'll start by avoiding. Tell you not to walk the dog, and that's a very thing I'm hearing a lot. Then they'll go to restraint. Yeah, so they'll avoid it, they'll wait for the dog to stop. Okay, they'll either physically remove the dog from the situation if the dog reacts, or they'll wait for the dog to stop reacting so they can reward the dog using positive reinforcement. And I do agree, if the dog stops what it's doing, you should definitely reward that. Start to teach the dog there's a better way, there's a better outcome for not reacting. But the restraint part is very common in force-free trainers. Yeah. Then when that doesn't work, the next step is medication. We'll medicate the dog, help it calm down, help it relax. No, you're just creating a zombie dog. A zombie dog won't react because it's just fucking spaced out, living on cloud 9. And then the final one, which I'm seeing a lot more lately, is the dog can't be helped and or being recommended to be put to sleep. Okay, so with a force-free dog trainer, it's avoid, restrain, medicate, euthanize. Yeah, and that may upset a lot of people, but unfortunately it is the way it's going. Yeah, it is. We've been taught to avoid situations, we've been taught to make the dog's life as comfortable as possible, but many times in doing so we're leaving the dog more stressed. So if you're just restraining a dog, that's going to create more stress straight off the bat. It is. Yeah, if you're avoiding a problem, physically removing the dog when it reacts, you teach the dog that reacting gets me out of this situation. So you're encouraging the dog to react. The other thing is, by not actually physically addressing the issue, the dog stays stressed for longer and longer and longer. If you have a reactive dog, yeah, the most common cause is the direct connection between the tool you are using and the person on the other end of the lead. So what you need to do is you need to find the tool that works best for your individual dog, and not a restraint tool, so not a harness, because harnesses will create more frustration. You want something like a slip lead, something like a martingale collar, something like maybe a head halter, something even like a prong collar. Yes, I said it, a prong collar. Get over yourself. Yeah, if you want to learn more about them, then just watch videos. We've got people with them on their necks yanking on them. It don't hurt as much as you think they do. They're not a medieval torture device. Get over yourself, right? But you want something that applies pressure, yeah, because pressure, yeah, and then teach the dog how to remove that pressure. What that does is that communicates with the dog. So if the dog goes forward and you snap on the lead, applying a little bit of pressure, that's like a little correction, quite very similar to, in a sense, to another dog just going pop, back off, yeah. It's not designed to hurt the dog, yeah, it's designed to create discomfort, to discourage a behaviour, yeah. So something like that communicates with the dog. You teach the dog about pressure and release, so the dog knows how to turn it off. So now when the dog sees something, you tell the dog enough if it starts to gear up, and you give the dog a pop on the lead. The dog goes, "Ooh, what was that?" And many times, that little interruption, that correction, is enough to break that dog's focus. That dog then focuses on you, boom, reward, yes, well done mate, I love that, that's a great decision. Start teaching the dog what you want. Now the direct connection between tool, handler, is one where you're actually teaching the dog what you want. You're not physically restraining the dog, you're communicating with the dog. These are what these tools are, yeah. And again, there's people that will fight against the use of these tools, okay, because they care more about their image than the dog itself. What they will do is they'll say, oh no, if the dog sees a dog and you correct it and the dog gets any sort of pain, it's going to associate it coming from the other dog. That's bullshit. Yeah, the dog associates it's coming from the handler. The handler corrects the dog. Yeah, corrections are a part of learning in an animal kingdom. Yeah, you watch two dogs interact, watch a mother and its puppies interact, watch two dogs playing. If one of them gets too pushy, the other one will correct the dog. Yeah, corrections are a part of Mother Nature. Yeah, Mother Nature overrules anything that is done by somebody wearing a white lab coat in a controlled environment. Yeah, that's the thing about all these new articles coming out about purely positive training. It's been scientifically proven. Yeah, it's been scientifically proven in a controlled environment. So of course the results are going to speak for themselves. Positive reinforcement in a controlled environment works fucking fantastic. Until you enter the real world with real life situations. It's impossible to actually avoid dogs unless you stop walking your dog. Yeah, it's impossible to predict that another dog will never run over to you because we live in the real world. You can't predict that walking down the street you're not going to see a dog come out of nowhere. You can't. Squirrels. You can't predict where a squirrel's going to come from. I saw a squirrel run across the road the other day. Didn't even know squirrels were around here. Where I live anyway. Yeah, the thing about the real world is things will appear out of nowhere. They do. Yeah. So it's you're no longer in a controlled environment, controlling the triggers, controlling the exposure your dog's getting, because we live in the real world. So this is why corrections work. Yeah, corrections don't make a dog worse. You're not physically beating a dog, you're not screaming at the dog, you're not throwing a dog to the floor and pinning it down. You're simply going, oi, enough. What? Reward. Yeah, works a hell of a lot better. But harnesses, guys, we're getting off track now a little bit here, but harnesses, guys, they work because it allows the dog to pull and have maximal control. Okay, so harnesses for a reactive dog is actually the worst thing you can use for a reactive dog. You don't want a harness for a reactive dog. Okay, so comment down below. Do you have a reactive dog? Are you using a harness? Is the harness making it worse? Yeah, is the harness helping you? Yeah, maybe comment if you want to know. Let me know if the harness has helped you. But if you think it's helping you because you can physically grab hold of the dog, all you're doing is restraining, you're not teaching the dog anything. Yeah, so the frustration remains, the frustration can build. Yeah, so I understand that some people put a harness on because they feel they've got something to physically grab hold of, but that's not teaching your dog anything, and it can build more frustration. Yeah, so yeah, just comment down below. Do you have a reactive dog? What are you doing to help that reactive dog? What advice have you been given to help this reactive dog? Have you had another trainer? Yeah, we've got a client booked in a minute that had a trainer that done 10 sessions with a reactive dog, and the dog's still reactive 10 sessions. I mean, come on guys, get to fucking grips. Yeah, uploaded a video. Gunner, dog aggressive staffy. 2 weeks later, he's walking with another dog. First session when it's killer dog. 2 weeks later, he's walking with dogs. Yeah, 10 sessions. You are a thieving bastard. Yeah, if your trainer is telling you rehabilitation takes months and months and years, get a new trainer, because it fucking doesn't. Dogs don't like to be stressed. Show a dog a better way, it will quickly start to adapt that way. Dogs want to be balanced. Humans are unbalanced, dogs want to be balanced. Quickly show a dog a better way of behaving. Communicate with that dog. Not just using positive reinforcement, but using punishment, because punishment decreases the likelihood of behaviours repeating. Guys, I cannot stress that enough. Punishment decreases the likelihood of a behaviour repeating. Reinforcement encourages the likelihood of that behaviour repeating. Using punishment reduces reactivity. Reinforcement encourages the new behaviour you're teaching. Yeah, it does not take months and months and years of rehabilitation to help a reactive dog. If a trainer's telling you it is, they simply don't know what they're doing, and or they want your money. They are thieving, robbing bastards. Yeah, so harnesses, don't use them if you've got a reactive dog. Find something that communicates with them in a more effective manner. Have a good day.